I'm not the same Brooklyn you knew.
Hello ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to an exciting new video where today we get to do a no spoiler review of Jurassic World Chaos Theory Season 2. Thanks to DreamWorks, I was given the privilege of being able to take a watch of this brand new season a few days early, and I've been allowed to go ahead and give my first impressions on the show in this here video. Don't worry, there will be no spoilers ahead for this video, so you don't have to come back to this any other time. This video is so that you can have something that you want to watch to get more excited for the show coming on October 17th. We're still aiming for 250,000 subscribers by the end of the year, so please do consider subscribing if you're excited for the next installment of the Jurassic World Chaos Theory franchise, as we have a lot to cover in the next upcoming days, and the future of the Jurassic franchise as an overall as well. Not just from Chaos Theory, but from Rebirth, Jurassic World Evolution 3, and also Jurassic Park Survival, so you're going to want to stay tuned here on the channel. But for now, it's time to discuss Season 2 of Jurassic World Chaos Theory. So make sure you're sat back, relaxed, and enjoying your G Fuel after using code SWERVE, as it's time to find out what I thought of Jurassic World Chaos Theory Season 2. So firstly, what I want to focus on obviously are the two main things, the good and the bad. Not the ugly, because this Season 2 just goes to show how incredibly beautiful a Jurassic animated series can be. Man oh man is it beautifully created, that is definitely one of the big positives for this show. But we're going to start here with the bad. What did I think was so negative about this show? Well, initially it had kind of a slow start into the season. As we know, episode 1 does in fact take place on the boat, and that whole episode is fantastic. But then we're talking about episodes 2, 3, 4, 5 and 6, where it just seems a little slow for no reason. There's a lot of cutting back and forth between Brooklyn's perspective and also the campus perspective, and it's kind of not hard to keep track of, but to build a consistent timeline. Sometimes it's like it takes place at the exact same time, sometimes it's a flashback, and to me it just seemed a bit overcomplicated to create a timeline, and it just felt like that kind of dragged out the start of the season quite a lot and just made it feel very, very slow. Not only that, but it didn't feel like it flowed very well when they enter West Africa. There are some questionable choices in the West African sequence that I know some fans aren't going to like, but children might like it overall. But to try and describe these without giving spoilers away, it's very difficult. I'm sure you'll see what exactly I mean once this show does release for you guys on October 17th, but it just feels like it doesn't flow all that well. And by this, I mean the early stages of the West African portion, because the later stages are a bit more fun than the early stages. The next thing would actually be something that people have been wanting to see for quite some time, is just dinosaurs being dinosaurs. And whilst we do get that with the herbivorous dinosaurs in this show, with the carnivorous, it's a different story. Random acts of dinosaur aggression and fights break out throughout the season, and it just makes it seem very, very unnatural. This is specifically with the Suchomimus, Majungasaurus, Dimorphodon, the ones that we know appear in the show. They just have some really random acts of aggression that make no logical sense for a carnivorous dinosaur to do. And there are some moments in the show that kind of defy physics a little bit as well. And it's just not really my cup of tea to see something like that. Like, sure, I don't mind seeing dinosaur aggression here, there and everywhere, but they have to be logical and sensible dinosaur aggression and fights. Otherwise, it just makes it so unnatural to the point where you're just thinking they're just doing this for the sake of runtime and trying to get another episode completed so that they can reach that 10 episode mark. That's just how some of the scenes came across to me, and it's a shame because I feel like in Chaos Theory Season 1 they handled that very, very well, but in Season 2 it was just a bit of a tiny mess. Now, focusing on something that's more dear to my heart and quite important for me, there are quite a few canonical errors and retcons throughout Season 2. A lot more than I would like. Now, I don't mind the occasional retcon here and there, but this one had maybe at least 3 or 4 retcons that just didn't really sit right to me. Again, I can't say them without spoiling, but there are just some things there that just don't really make too much sense. However, if I was to play devil's advocate here, the canonical errors and retcons that happen throughout the show, they aren't exactly story breaking. They don't break the stories of the movies, they don't break the stories of the animated shows, so it's not a big deal to worry about it. But if you're a knowledgeable fan of the franchise, you're going to be left slightly confused and wanting some definitive answers, like myself. I'm sat here thinking, I need to know whether this is true or is this true. But yeah, just because I love how intact the Jurassic canon is, it's just a slight kick in the teeth to see such a good show make a lot of canonical errors and not really go into the source material too well. And also the finale. Now, the finale for Jurassic World Chaos Theory Season 1, whilst it did end on a cliffhanger, it was something that wasn't very underwhelming and kind of led us to a lot more of excitement. This finale was quite underwhelming. It kind of just happened, you know? And I was sat there thinking, oh, there's going to be a post-credit scene. There wasn't. And I was thinking, wow, so they're just ending the season just like that? It just kind of came and went. It wasn't really something to be relieved about, be excited about, and to me it was just very, very underwhelming. So overall, for the bad side of things, my major issues are with the start of the season and the canonical errors. The underwhelming finale isn't really a big deal to me, but it was worth a mention. But yeah, the start of this season kind of brings down the overall rating in my opinion, considering how good the last episodes were in this show. Which brings us on to the good side of things. Now, don't get me wrong, there are so many good things that I want to talk about, but a lot of them contain spoilers. So I don't really want to talk about everything too in depth right now, but I'm excited to. You can hear the excitement. I want to tell you everything, but I can't. But I promise you, you guys are going to have a lot of fun with this show. It's so much fun, it's very entertaining to watch, as long as you can overlook the bad stuff that I did talk about in this video. But the good side of things, firstly, Zaina, and her family more specifically, they are so fun. Those characters I thought would just be like throwaway characters, but man are they fun. They are so entertaining, you get a few giggles here and there from them, and it's just really nice to see the chemistry that they have, and seeing it on screen is really, really nice. It's something that you don't really get too much with Jurassic, and I feel like it's a breath of fresh air. So I am really, really pleased with Zaina and her family. In contrary to the bad side of things, the last part of the show, specifically the last 3 episodes, are absolutely fantastic. They stick with the Chaos Theory Season 1 and Camp Cretaceous Season 3 darkness, and I mean seriously dark. There's a specific plotline towards the end of the show that just has you thinking, what the F? What is going on here? This is so dark, this is beyond what I thought that Jurassic is capable of, and it just makes you think and question all the moralities of people in this universe, and it's just so interesting. It's so... I can't even think of the right word here because I'm sat there thinking, wow, this is very dodgy, very dark, but at the same time, I'm really intrigued. Like, I'm morbidly intrigued in all of this. I want to learn more. I want to learn why they do all of this stuff, how they did all of this stuff, the science behind everything. To me, it was fantastic, and yes, I seriously mean that portion of this season sticks very true to the Season 3 darkness of Camp Cretaceous and the Season 1 darkness of Chaos Theory. It's very, very good. Continuing on, I recognise that I am going to sound very hypocritical here, but I'm aware I said canonical errors, but at the same time, there are some amazing canonical connections as well, some that will even blow your mind. Like, don't get me wrong, it is quite upsetting that there are some retcons and some canonical errors, but there are some many good canonical connections that you should focus on as well, and I'm really appreciative of everything that they've decided to do with this story to connect it to the wider range of the Jurassic franchise. It's very nice to see that they are sticking to canon, and at least trying their hardest to do so, and it's something that I can just sit there and really appreciate, and I know for a fact that many of you guys are going to enjoy as well. But yeah, it just felt like it was much more of a story from Camp Cretaceous Season 3 and Chaos Theory Season 1 that was continued into the later stage of Season 2 of Chaos Theory. It kind of feels like the first few episodes of Season 2 is one story, and then the second few episodes of Season 2 is a completely different story. And when you focus on that and kind of space out a season like that, undoubtedly the later stage of Season 2 is phenomenal because it feels like Camp Cretaceous Season 3 and Chaos Theory Season 1. It just leaves us with so many new things to think about and explore in this universe, and whilst they do tie the knots with some storylines, they also leave some of the side storylines open to interpretation as well. So it just adds to thinking about more theories for this franchise and coming up with many more stories for this franchise, and they absolutely hit the nail on the head with that. And I'm so proud that they did because it left me with moments where my jaw dropped and I thought, yeah, that's cool as fuck. So there we have it. I haven't covered entirely everything that I wanted to cover in this video, as there are some things that I need more time to dwell on and wait for the show to release and think about before putting it in a review. Either way, I had an absolute blast with the latter stages of the season, and I think that those last few episodes are a 9 out of 10 alone. However, given this is a whole season review, a solid 7.5 out of 10 would be a reasonable review for the season. Miles better than Camp Cretaceous seasons 4 and 5, which I now feel like deserve a much lower rating given the season 2 score of Chaos Theory that I've given, so I might go back and revise those scores and lower them quite a lot. If you enjoyed today's video, make sure you leave a like if you're excited for Chaos Theory, and why not also subscribe to the channel for more Jurassic content coming in the next few days and years as well. And by subscribing, it also helps us reach 250,000 subscribers by the end of the year. But for now, make sure you're all staying safe out there, and I'll see you all in the next one. Bye bye. Hello, hi, you. Did you enjoy the video? Just a little reminder to press that like button and also subscribe. I just want to thank my Patreons for this month on screen right here, as giving me that little extra support really does go a long way. But anyways, I hope you guys have an amazing rest of your day.